Hello everyone, and welcome to our tutorial on accessing ChatGPT and managing your queries via Python. So the very first step would be to create a ChatGPT account if you do not have one. Now, if you do not have a ChatGPT account, simple we can try ChatGPT login and let's see what all steps will come into us when we have to register an account. Though I already have an account, so I will give you a link in the notes section which you can simply paste in your browser and you will get an option to generate the API keys. Let's quickly get that loaded. So it will ask you to log in or sign up. You can simply press this sign up and fulfill your relevant details. Now I already have an account, so I'll not use that option and I'll directly go to the cheap OpenAPI page. So this is the link. Let me repaste again for you. But for that, you first need to have an account. Now with my existing account, I'm pasting that thing again. And forward me for the speed. Okay, so now I'll get a small plus. You can press it and create a new secret key for yourself. Now you need to be aware that this key need to be copied somewhere locally with you. Otherwise, what will happen in case you close this area and left the page, even just giving the warning as well, you will not be able to view it again. So the only option you are left with will be to basically regenerate the key. So I have two keys now. I can play with any of them. Now next step will be to simply install some modules that are actually required for us. We can always take help of pip or something for our help. So we can simply issue a command, pip install OpenAI, and it will install the AI module for me. Most of the dependencies are already there on my system, so it's not complaining much, but the speed of the installation may vary in accordance with the network speed. Now let's pick our favorite browser. I'm using Visual Studio Code only, and let's start with our code. So the very first thing we import an OpenAI module. The documentation around it is given in the GitHub page. So the link for that is already in the notes section, but we can have a quick view. It won't hurt a lot. So if you just type OpenAI Python module and it will give you the first link for that, just open that and it will give you some nice, beautifully given documentation around that. You can also search and you will find a GitHub page as well for the same. Now, this library provides us a convenient access to the OpenAI API. And what we are doing, we're actually going to make the connections over the API only. So let's go back to our terminal and start doing the codes again. So after OpenAI, I'm not going to go deeper in basically the complete module, but there are some environment variables which you can take help of. Obviously, the coding style is different, so you can always write a better code than me. Now let's set up the key for the OpenAI as well, the key we generated. So set up API key. For this is a debatable topic. People can have their choice. They can set environmental variables. They can take care of other modules, even the vault or something, just to pass their key. I'm simply putting it over here. By the time you are watching this video, this will be already removed. So that is the key which we are going to use for our work to make the API connections. Now let's proceed further. Now this OpenAI, it's actually having a lot of models. So we can take care of OpenAI model list. You will find all these things in the documentation. So stay assured about remembering anything. Let's simply store it inside a variable. And let's print the models and see what format of output we'll get. Now quickly execute our code. It may take some time because it's actually going to make an API connection to the chat GPT and then going to fetch all the information for you. So we will notice that let's pick one stanza. So it's like a dictionary for us, and so list of dictionaries basically. And then we have different criteria like IDs. My bad, it's not a list of dictionary. The list, these elements are in the list basically, and outside is a dictionary only. So you will get a lot of values. We can have a ID name or just to identify what all models are available for us. So let's quickly update our code. Just first commit this thing and pass this over a complete list. Let's pick a variable name model, and since it's a dictionary, so I'll take the dictionary name as data. And after that, let's print. What I want to print from the model, I want to print only the ID name. Okay, it's ready. Let's validate. Are we getting our required things or not? Okay, so in this manner, you would notice that you can simply pull a list of what all models are available. Now we can generate even text output using one model. I'm not going to explore all models over here, but let's pick one model, and the most famous one is DaVinci. Actually, even if you read in the documentation, it's the most closest to the GPT-3 style querying. So let's update our code. Now we don't want to print anything, so I'll hide that stanza as well. So let's quickly create a response. It's just a variable, so don't take tension about its name. Now, it provide a method basically how to query a particular model. So we'll put like completion create and then some values inside that. Now, before let's first fetch the values and then we will see what all that means. So I'm copy pasting some values and then we will see and we will discuss what all that means. I'm using the ingent DaVinci. Prompt is supposed to, maybe we can put some string. So before going further, let's explore a bit what all is actually stored inside that. So I'm going back to the basically OpenAI page, and you would notice there is an API reference. Whatever examples we are taking from over here only, so you will find those things. Now, okay, so it gives you steps how you can install OpenAI, then help perform authentication. They have given some methods. You can even use the environmental variables. Now, how you'll make a request, and then how a GPT 3.5 turbo model would be used. Now, there are different lists of different models which we are using. So it gives you a lot of examples how you can create and use each and every model. So the most common method is complete create, my bad, completion create. And inside that, you can give your model the engine name or whatever options a particular model support. So you can always take help of this page to identify what all details are required for you. One important option that I want to show you is temperature, which I notice at a later point. Let's see if this page speaks anything about that. Okay, so what ChatGPT suggests when you are sampling temperature to use a value between 0 and 2. So higher value like 0.8 or something, it will actually make your outputs more random. Maybe you're not expecting those answer, but the lower values like 0.2 or something, the output will be more focused and determined. But still, you need to take care. There may be variation as per the styling of a particular person. It's an AI model. It's still learning. So as of now, I have not added the temperature value, and we will try to see what all is there in that. Apart from that small thing, also I want to show you. You can also use organization settings, which I'm not using, but you can always use in your code. Okay, so we can also check the model documentation. So it will give you a list of all the models which you can use. So I'm using a GPT-3, but there is also GPT 3.5 and even GPT-4, which is the testing phase. So if you select GPT-3, now it will give you what I told, that DaVinci and all these are the only models that are able to fine tune, and they are actually supporting the base GPT-3 models. So accordingly, with the help of these pages, I'm not telling each and everything. With these pages, you can play around and start writing and even fine tuning your code. Now let's go back to the terminal. So that is something which we wrote. Now let's quickly see what all response we receive. So what all we receive in a response. Okay, so we notice that we have a dictionary, and inside dictionary there are a list of things. So the first dictionary element is choices, and inside that I'm interested in the text value. So let's conveniently edit our filters a bit and try fetching the exact values. So in response, choices, then I'm actually interested in the first list element, and inside that I'm interested in text value. So let's see what it print this time. Okay, so we receive output like that. Some output, it's obviously due to the, but we do not want every time a hard-coded string. So let's update the script a bit and make it more user-friendly. So I'll put an option like prompt or prompt ask. That would make more sense. Now I'll take help of input variable, and let's put our input request. So what do you want me to answer? Okay, temperature already said. That's why we're getting determined answer. Otherwise, the answers are pretty random. And it's fine. In place of prompt, let's simply edit it with the prompt task. And let's see how this time it will answer us. It can be slow because again, it's going to make a API connection. So obviously we got our prompt, and let's put some interesting question like smallest country in world. Let's see if it complain, if it answers, or what type of answer it will provide. So it has given you an answer that the Vatican City is the smallest country in the world. Uh, let's try some. Obviously, it's not able to parse the images at this point. So obviously, anything which is returned with the image on the UI, it's actually not going over here. But I'll leave that to you. Fix that, update on the GitHub page where I'm posting this original script, and you can always contribute and even share your ideas. So just quickly, that's fine. Let's put second query over here. Install git on RHEL. Maybe it will make more sense. Okay, so it is simply printed, no answers. Let's try again. I told you it's still learning, so your answers may vary and it have a randomness. But what we are doing, we're actually bypassing the UI. Go to UI every time. I can simply run from my terminal and got the answers. How to install Git on Linux. Maybe this question will make more sense to it. Okay, so from the output, it simply gave you the answer. You need all those packages. So even the last one, let's try something else. Maybe just asking how we can install Visual Studio Code in Windows. Perfect. So you can notice we are able to query our chatbot and get the required answer for us. Hopefully, you actually like that. So the script code is, I told you, is mentioned on GitHub to test and contribute. Do fine tune it as per your needs and share with your suggestions. Simply, if you like my work, leave a thumbs up, test it, contribute it, let us know. Do check the notes section because it contains some important links. Till then, bye bye. Thank you very much.